Hi, everybody. I'm Lindsay. Welcome to Yoga Heights. We're coming at you live from Tacoma with a power flow this morning. It'll be a 60-minute practice. I have two of my yoga besties, Helen and Jonathan, with me to demo. I'm going to be hanging out close to the computer because we're having some mic issues this morning. So if you miss any instruction or get lost at any point, just make sure you're looking at these two and you'll be all set. We're going to go ahead and get started on our backs. So find any reclining position that feels comfy for you. So as you can see here, Helen and Jonathan have started out in corpse pose. Helen's modifying something that can be nice. If your lower back is feeling a little sore or tight, you can bend your knees, plant your feet at mat's width, and let your knees knock together in the center of the mat. If your hips feel open, feel free to find the reclining butterfly, soles of your feet together, knees knocking wide, as Jonathan's demonstrating now. If it feels comfy for you, let your eyes close if you haven't already. You might wiggle your shoulder blades in a little bit closer to one another so you can really sink into every point of pressure between your body and the ground. And take a couple moments here to just be completely still. And start to tune into your breath. Notice every inhale and every exhale. All of the movement happening in your belly, in your rib cage, and in your collarbone every time you breathe in and breathe out. Take a moment to give your body a scan from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. If you're holding any tension or soreness anywhere in your body, see if you can find a little bit more softness, maybe relax that muscle or joint. Try to let yourself sink a little bit deeper into the ground. Bringing one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. We're going to start to fire up the breath now. So start to take nice, deep, long, extended inhales. Try to fill your palms completely with your belly and your chest as you breathe in. And then big, full exhales to follow. Draw your navel down toward your spine and breathe all the way out of your lower belly. Couple rounds just like that. Try to make these the biggest breaths you've taken yet this week. Really slow down. Fill up your whole body as you inhale. Empty everything out as you exhale. Last couple rounds, make these the biggest breaths yet. One more full inhale and exhale at your own pace. And whenever you're done with that breath, slowly start to gather your knees up into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins and start to rock side to side in your lower backbone or in little circles around your sacrum. That feels good. Find some stillness now in your little ball. Bring your hands around behind your hamstrings and start to rock up and down your spine. Tailbone to shoulder blades. You'll rock a couple times and build some momentum, massaging your spine from top to bottom. On your third or fourth rock all the way up to a seat. Any leg position that feels good. Sit up nice and tall. Draw your navel into your spine. Roll your shoulders down your back and reach up through the crown of your head. Keep your eyes closed or gaze softly down the tip of your nose, and we'll come together with 3 collective breaths. Inhaling through your nose. And exhale. Breath in. And out. One more inhale. Open mouth. Softly blink your eyes open. You're gonna roll forward into either a tabletop position or pop straight up into down dog, your choice. So listen to your body, think about what you need as you start to warm yourself up, and take any movements that feel good. So if you're on all fours, you might move into cat-cow. Inhaling to cow pose, rolling your shoulders back, tilting your tailbone high. Exhaling into cat, puffing up through your shoulder blades, letting your head hang heavy. If you're in down dog, you might pedal your knees, shake your hips side to side, maybe rock forward and backward from down dog to plank a couple of times to wake up your shoulders. We'll be here for about 5 more breaths. Feel free to close your eyes if that helps you sort of tune in and move at the pace of your own inhales and exhales. Last breath here to wiggle around. If you're on all fours, maybe you join us in down dog to wiggle around for the last breath. And then we'll come together in stillness for a big breath in, full breath out. One more inhale. Open mouth. Inhale, look toward your hands. As you exhale, slowly walk your feet forward to meet them, and you'll pause and ragdoll. When you get there, let your head hang completely heavy. Any arm variation you'd like to take. So you might touch opposite elbows, let your fingertips dangle, bind your hands together above the small of your back, and bring the knuckles up over your head. Feel free to give the head some nods and some shakes. Try to keep the neck soft. Take a moment in these last couple breaths to draw your navel up toward your spine and see if you can hang a little bit deeper into your fold. Go ahead and release your bind if you have it. Generous bend in your knees, roll one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to standing, head and neck relaxed to rise. When you get to the top, inhale, send your hands over your head and lift your gaze. Exhale, bring the hands together at heart center. Go ahead and blink your eyes, close your gaze softly down the tip of your nose again, and I'll invite you to set an intention or dedication for practice. If you prefer not to, just take another big deep inhale and exhale. Softly blink your eyes open. We'll get going with some sun A's. On your next inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, dog is hitting the plant. Inhale, find a flat back, engage your abs. Exhale, plant the palms and step or float to chaturanga, high to low push-up. Feel free to drop your knees. Inhaling through cobra or up dog. Exhaling up and back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. So as we continue to flow, feel free to modify your vinyasa in whatever way feels best to you today. You can take a traditional chaturanga and up dog if you like. You can drop the knees and take knees, chest, chin, and baby cobra if you'd like to modify. And if you're just not feeling it, feel free to skip the vinyasa altogether and press straight up and back to down dog. We're gonna try to build some heat today and get a little sweaty. So if at any point you wanna take a break or reset your breath, feel free to find child's pose whenever you need it. Big breath in here in down dog. Full breath out. Inhale, look toward your hands. Step or float to the top of the mat, flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float, hug your elbows in tight. They should raise your ribs as you lower. Inhale through up dog, roll your shoulders all the way back. Exhale, up and back to down dog. 5 breaths here again. Feet are hip width apart at the back of your mat, so there should be 2 fists worth of space between your heels. Fingers are spread nice and wide. You're gripping the mat with all 10 finger pads and pressing into your palms to help you tilt your tailbone up and back a little further. Breathe into those hamstrings. Try to lengthen the back of your legs as you press down and back through your heels. Nice adjustments you got. Big breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, look toward your hands. Step or float to the top of the mat, flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Breath sounds great. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float. Plant your palms, pause with your elbows at 90. Inhale through up dog, collarbones broad. Exhale up and back to down dog, 5 breaths. Big inhales and full exhales here. For those of you following along, if I'm doing a little faster or slower than the pace of your own breath, feel free to adjust in whatever way makes sense for your body and your breath. Try to make sure you're taking full inhales and full exhales with every movement. Big breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, look toward your hands. Step or float to the top of the mat, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, root to rise, all the way to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Step or float, full exhale as you lower. Inhaling through up dog. Exhaling through down. 5 breaths again when you get to down dog. If you need to take any more wiggles here, feel free. Take a moment too to check in and notice if this down dog feels any different than your first. So maybe the back of your legs are starting to open up a little bit. Maybe you can roll your shoulders down your back and relieve some of the tension that you might be holding in the shoulder heads and the shoulder blades. Maybe you can tilt your tailbone up 1 inch higher and get your heels a little closer to the ground now that we're warm. Big breath in. Full breath out. Stay here for 1 more inhale. Open mouth. Inhale, look toward your hands. Step or float to the top of the mat, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring your big toes together to touch, slight gap in your heels. On your next breath, find chair pose. Drop your seat low. Squeeze your thighs in nice and tight. Fire up your glutes. You're going to plug your shoulders in. Keep your arm bones nice and active. Pinkies start to spiral in toward each other. If any of you have taken class with me before, you know I love to hold a chair, so buckle up. All right, drop your feet a little lower. Make sure you can wiggle all 10 toes up off the ground. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float. Inhaling through up dog. Exhaling through down. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise to high lunge with breath. Use your exhale to adjust as you need. If you need to put some more space between your feet, if you're a little wobbly, you can inch your right foot out a little wider. Go ahead and hug your right hip in toward your left to square your hip points with the front of your mat. Slight tug of the tailbone, so you're tugging your navel in toward your spine, make your torso nice and long. Relax your shoulders down your back again. Straighten out that back leg all the way, really drive through the heel. Nice adjustments, you guys. Sink into that front knee 1 more inch. Big breath in. Exhale, warrior 2, open it up, ground down through your back heel. You're gonna fan your front hip open by pressing your right knee toward your right pinky toe and making sure you can see your right big toe at the front of the mat. If you can't, that means you're letting your knees sort of collapse in toward the center of the mat and you're not benefiting from the hip opener that's happening in that front leg. Shoulders are relaxed again. If you feel a little arch in your lower back, hug your navel toward your spine and tuck your tailbone. On your next inhale, flip your palm, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Keep that front knee stacked right where it is over your front foot, and you're finding length by really using that right arm nice and actively. So reaching up and back for your fingertips, using your breath to spread your ribs apart on the right side body. I've warned these guys that this is going to be a slow burn, so just stay in your leg. Next inhale, extended side angle. Right forearm to right leg, left arm comes up and over. Modify as you like. Feel free to catch a half or full bind. The more you're pressing into the outer edge of your left foot, the less work your front leg is going to have to do. So really use both legs equally if you can. Hug your right hip toward the center line of the mat. Keep breathing. Almost done on this side, I promise. All right, we have a fun transition coming up here. You're coming into low lunge open twist. So plant your left palm, rotate all the way around and extend your right arm up toward the sky. You'll spin up onto the ball of your left foot. Beautiful. So arms should be in one long line. If you need to modify, feel free to drop that back knee. Same thing in the hips. You're hugging your right hip toward your left in the center of the mat. Your inner thighs should be working just as hard as the rest of your legs. Press into your palms. See if you can lift up 1 inch higher through those fingers. Take a big inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back to chaturanga. Option to keep your right leg lifted as you lower. Inhaling through up dog. Exhaling through down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise to high lunge with breath. Use your exhale to adjust those feet as you need. Make those same adjustments on this side. So square the hips, hug your left hip in toward your right. Plug your shoulders in, navel to spine. Straighten out that back leg, hug your kneecap up toward your quad, sink into your front knee, stack it right over the front foot, keep breathing. These are beautiful. Big inhale. Exhale, warrior two, open it up. Fan your front foot open again, check in with your left big toe this time. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Tailbone is tucked, gaze over your front middle finger. There's some great focus in here right now. Keep breathing. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach up and back, keep your knee right where it is. Your right hand is light wherever it lands, either on your back leg, touching a half bind behind the small of your back, or reaching across in front of you, sort of curving your arm up toward the sky, activate your abs. Gaze up at your lifted palm or down at your back foot. For a little longer in your left side body, take a big inhale. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm to left leg, right arm comes up and over this time. Take whatever arm variation you took on the first side. If your left forearm is on your left leg, try to use your front leg and your abs to help support you. Try not to just collapse into that elbow. Spine is long, you're hugging your left hip in, spiraling your right shoulder, collarbone up toward the sky. Beautiful, you guys. Nice and long through the crown of the head. All right, same fun transition on this side. As you're ready, you'll fan yourself all the way around, plant your right palm, extend your left arm up toward the sky for a low lunge open twist. Back leg is strong and straight here, just like it was in high lunge, unless you're modifying with intention. You're hugging your left hip in toward the center of your mat, gazes up at your lifted thumb. Really press into that right palm, lift up an inch higher, grow nice and broad across the front of your chest. Big breath in. Exhale, frame the front foot, chaturanga, step it back, option to lift the leg. Inhaling through up dog. Exhaling through down. So we'll be here for 5 breaths. Feel free to hang out in your down dog for a few. You can find child's pose if you want to take a little break. If you feel like powering it up a little bit on this Friday morning, you can try fire floats. Helen's going to demo for us. Your fingers will be spread nice and wide. Walk your big toes in together to touch and forward a couple of inches. Start to hop your heels up toward your sit bones. Your arm bones will stay straight, and you'll bend your legs. So your goal is to land as quietly as you can on the balls of your feet. You can see how she's engaging her abs as she comes back down toward the ground. Land nice and soft. Last breath or two here. You guys will have an opportunity to play with those fire floats throughout the standing series. So if you didn't give it a try this time, feel free to try it next time we come up to down dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. Open mouth. Inhale, look toward your hands. Step or float to the top of the mat, flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, big toes touch, sit down to chair. Exhale, Tadasana, stand up tall and reset. Right, inhale, drop your seat, sit down to chair. We're gonna hold here again. You can stay right where you are, or if you wanna modify and come into Tadasana, you'll bind your hands together in front of your face. Turn your palms inside out into a little cradle. Drop your seat in line with your knees. Draw your navel up toward your spine to hover your chest over your legs. You want your thighs parallel with the ground. Keep your toes away. Fire up your glutes. Squeeze your thighs in nice and tight. Maybe you drop your feet a little bit lower. We're gonna flow with breath through that same sequence we just took and then add on to the end. Take one more inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float. Inhaling through up dog. Exhaling through down. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise to high lunge with breath. Exhale, warrior two, open it up. Inhale, reverse, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle, one breath here. Inhale, low lunge, open twist, pause when you get there. Fan yourself all the way around, get set in your legs. Fire up that back leg, strong and straight, hug your right hip in. Right, on your next breath, you're gonna rise up to high lunge open twist. So use that right hand to hug your torso up to vertical. You're gonna stack your shoulders over your hip bones. Your back knee is gonna wanna bend on you as you rise. So really drive backward with your left heel. Try to keep that leg strong and straight. Front knee stacked over your front foot. Really sink into the knee. And use your breath here. As you inhale, you grow taller. As you exhale, you twist deeper. Really roll that shoulder toward the back of the room. And on your next inhale, power lunge. Right arm sweeps forward. You're gonna hover out over your front leg. Engage every muscle in that right leg. Your quad, your glute. The straighter your left leg is, the more you're driving backward through the heel, the less you're gonna have to work in your front leg. Go as long as you can from heel to fingertips. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot, low lunge. Stay right there. Inhale, modified pyramid pose. Straighten out your front leg. Curl your toes up toward your forehead and breathe into that right hamstring. You can feel free to spin your left heel down toward the ground if that feels good. Maybe you fold in toward the knee. Feel that stretch climb up the back of the leg. Take one more big inhale. Full exhale. Inhale back to low lunge, frame the front foot. Exhale, chaturanga, step it back, shift forward and lower. Inhale in through up dog. Exhale in through down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise to high lunge with breath. Exhale, warrior two, open it up. Inhale, reverse, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle, one breath. Inhale, low lunge, open twist, fan yourself all the way around, get set in your legs, get nice and sturdy there for a breath. And then same thing on this side, fire up those legs, use your lifted arms, tug yourself up to standing, high lunge, open twist. That front knee's gonna wanna unbend, you'll sink back into it. Your back knee's gonna wanna bend, straighten it out all the way. And start to use your breath here, inhale, grow taller. Exhale, twist deeper, really rinse out your spine. If you're steady, you can turn your gaze toward your back thumb, as these two are doing right now. Right, power lunge on your next breath, left arm sweeps forward, hover out over that front leg. Draw your navel toward your spine. It's the same sensation as what we were doing in Tadasana. Stack your front knee right over your front foot, grow a little longer from heel to fingertips, keep breathing. Big breath in. Exhale, frame the front foot, low lunge, stay right there. As you inhale, modified pyramid pose. Straighten out your front leg, curl your toes up toward your forehead. Maybe you spin your back heel down toward the ground, breathe into your left hamstring. Maybe hug yourself in a little bit deeper. Left big breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, sink forward, low lunge. Exhale, chaturanga, step it back, shift forward and lower. Inhale in through up dog. Exhale in through down, 5 breaths here. Feel free to find child's pose if you want to reset. You can stay in down dog, or if you want to give those fire floats a try, feel free. Nice, Jonathan. Look at those abs working hard. Last breath or two here. After we reset, we'll make our way back up to chair, flow through that same beginning sequence, and then add on to the end a little bit differently. So we'll meet in down dog on this next breath. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. Open mouth. Inhale, look toward your hands, step or float to the top of the mat, flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, big toes touch, sit down to chair. Exhale, Tadasana, stand up tall. Inhale, drop the feet, sit down to chair. We're gonna hold here again, 3 options this time. You can stay right where you are in chair. You can come through Uttanasana, which we did last time. Or if you wanna rise up into iron footstool, you'll come up on your tippy toes, squeeze your ankle bones together, press those palms forward. Hug your thighs in, fire up your glutes. Navel the spine, drop your feet a little lower. Big breath in. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float. Inhale in through up dog. That was a beautiful float, Jonathan. Exhale through down. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise to high lunge with breath. Exhale, warrior two, open it up. Inhale, reverse, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle, 1 breath. Inhale, low lunge, open twist, and pause again when you get there. Get set in your legs. Fire up that back leg. Go broad across the collarbone. All right, from here, you're coming into Tadasana on the left. You're going to thread your right hand underneath your left shoulder. Pivot to face the long edge of the mat. Walk your hands with you. Bend your left knee. Turn your left toes out to 45 degrees, and your right leg will stay straight. So you can hang out in high Tadasana as Helen is doing, or if your hips feel open, you can drop it into low like Jonathan and turn your toes up to face the sky. Try to keep your spine long. Roll your shoulders down your back. Feel free to bring your hands down to the mat if you need a little more support. Keep breathing into that left hip. Take one more big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come through center. Find a flat back and square your feet to parallel. Yep, as you exhale, wide leg forward, full gotcha. All right, let your head hang heavy. Legs stay straight. Any arm variation you'd like to take. So you can flip the palms around and start to walk your torso back to your legs. You can bind your big toes. Set your tailbone up high, breathe into the back of those legs. On your next inhale, find a flat back. As you exhale, bring your heels in and your toes out, and you're going to rise up into a goddess pose. So bring your arms into a cactus, drop your feet low, work those booties, tuck your tailbone, press your knees wide, open up your hips. Feel free to shimmy side to side if that feels good. If you're listening to music, you can do it to the beat. Yeah, just like that. Try to relax your face and be in intense posture. I both love and hate it. All right, drop your feet a little bit lower. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to hips, straighten out your legs, drop your heels back out to parallel. You're going to turn your right toes to face the front of your mat, and we'll set up for triangle pose. So if you need to shimmy your back foot in a little bit, feel free. Bring your arms parallel to the ground. Lots of length in your spine. As you tilt your left hip backward and reach forward with your right fingertips, and start to cartwheel your hands until they're perpendicular to the ground. So little micro bend in your front knee. Squeeze the mat together between your heels. Your goal is to be as flat as possible, so you're hugging your right hip toward the center of the mat. Arms are in one long line, gaze up at your lifted thumb. Keep breathing. All right, last couple breaths. If you want to power it up, you can reach both hands forward to hover and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pull yourself back up to standing. Exhale, sink into the front knee, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse, reach up and back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, straighten the front foot, step it back to chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise to high lunge with breath. Exhale, warrior 2, open it up. Inhale, reverse, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle, 1 breath. Inhale, low lunge, open twist, and pause. When you get there, plant the palm, extend your left arm up toward the sky, straighten out your back leg all the way. Okay, coming into Tadasana on the right this time, thread your left arm underneath your right shoulder, pivot to face the long edge of the mat. You'll bend into your right knee, turn those toes out to 45. You can either hang out in high or drop it down to low. Keep in mind that sometimes our hips are a little asymmetrical, so one might be a little more open than the other. So you might come down a little lower on one side than the other. It might feel a little tighter, a little looser on this side. Just take a moment to notice and just breathe into that right hip. Spine is long. Take one more big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come through center, find a flat back, bring your feet to parallel. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. If you want to switch up your arm variation or invert, feel free. We'll be here for a couple breaths. Please. Everything's fine. All right, draw your navel up toward your spine, tilt your tailbone up high. Let your neck be soft. Breathe into those hamstrings. If you have a bind, go ahead and release it. Fingertips come back down to the mat. Inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, heels in, toes out. Drop your feet and find goddess pose. So you're going to start with your arms in that cactus again. Just drop your feet low, press your knees wide. Then you're going to bring your hands down onto your thighs, thumbs inside the thighs. Straighten out your arm bones all the way. Sit into your hips and just really use your arms to support you. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bend your left elbow, dip your right shoulder in toward the center of your body, rinse out your spine. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, bend right, dip left. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, bend left, dip right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, bend right, dip left. This time, inhale, come back through center and pause. You're gonna keep your hips just as low as they are. Fire up every muscle in your legs, release your arms back into that cactus. Take a big breath in, full breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to hips, straighten out your legs, feet come back to parallel. We'll set up a triangle on the left, pivot your left foot to face forward, walk your back foot in if you need. Bring your arms to a T. As you're ready, send your right hip back and start to lean forward and tip it over. Try to make your body as two-dimensional as possible. Tug your left hip underneath your right, roll your right shoulder and collarbone up toward the sky, gaze up at your lifted thumb, arms are in one long line. Squeeze the mat together between your heels, and don't forget to breathe. All right, last couple breaths. If you want to power it up, both arms reach forward and you hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, warrior 2, sink into the knee. Inhale, reverse, reach up and back. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back to chaturanga. Inhaling through up dog. Exhaling through down. 5 breaths here again. Down dog, child's pose, or fire floats. Listen to your body and take what you need. It might be different than it was yesterday. Couple big inhales and exhales into your back body if you're in child's pose or in down dog. Take a moment to check in if you're still, and just notice how you're feeling. We have a little more standing work to do. We're meeting down dog in this next breath. Big inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. Open mouth. Inhale, look toward your hands, step or float to the top of the mat, flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, big toes touch, sit down to chair. Exhale, Tadasana, stand up tall. All right, inhale, drop your feet, sit down to chair. Last time we're gonna hold chair, I promise. Plug your shoulders in, squeeze your thighs in tight. Any variation you wanna take. Chair, Tadasana, or iron footstool. This is your last one, make it your strongest one yet, no matter what you're doing. Fire up those glutes. Drop your feet low. Big breath in. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float, hug your elbows in tight. Inhaling through up dog, nice chaturanga. Exhaling through down. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise to high lunge with breath. Exhale, warrior 2, open it up. Inhale, reverse, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle, 1 breath. Inhale, low lunge, open, twist, and pause. Fire up those legs again. This time we're coming in to a side plank on the left, so you have 2 options. You can just sort of roll onto the outer edge of that left foot and take your leg with you, or if you want to challenge yourself, you'll bind your big toe and take the leg with you with your arms. So whenever you're ready, side plank on the left, yep. If you need to drop that left knee, feel free. You can come down onto the forearm to modify. Any leg variation you'd like to take. Your goal is to lift your right hip bone as high as you can. So zip your abs all the way up into your sternum. Create a rainbow with your body. Press into the outer edge of that left foot. Nice job, you guys. All right, one more inhale here. As you exhale, come to high plank and pause. Drop down onto your forearms. Forearm plank. We're going to get our ab work out of the way. Tailbone is tucked. Press into those forearms. Pump up through your shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press yourself back up to high plank and then shift your hips up and back to down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise to high lunge with breath. Exhale, warrior 2, open it up. Inhale, reverse, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle, 1 breath. Inhale, low lunge, open, twist, and pause. Right, and then same thing on this side. You're coming into side plank on the right this time, so either step and roll or bind your big toe as Helen's doing and take your leg with you. Feel free to modify as you need. No matter what you're doing, you're lifting your left hip bone as high as you can, zipping your abs up into the top of your rib cage, creating a rainbow with your body, pressing into the outer edge of that right foot. Lift up 1 inch higher, last big breath in. Exhale, come through high plank pause, drop it down to your forearms. Last time we're gonna hold these abs. 5, breathe. 4, tailbones tucked. 3, 2, 1, press back up to high plank, send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, full breath out. 1 more inhale, open mouth. Drop it down to your knees and find child's pose. Let everything be soft. Great work, you guys. Let your forearms, melt into the mat or reach back for your heels. Send some big breaths into your back body, into your lower belly. Maybe rock your forehead side to side on the ground. Your hands or your heels, reach them forward. Spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, and find downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. 1 more inhale. Open mouth. Walk your hands back to your feet at the back of your mat. You're gonna hang out in ragdoll for a couple breaths. Feel free to bend the knees, sway side to side, let those legs go. Draw your navel up toward your spine, let your head hang heavy. You have a little more standing work to do. We're gonna do a little balancing series to make your way back to the top of the mat, and then we'll start to take it down to the floor. Go ahead and release whatever bind you have. Generous bend in your knees. Roll 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way to standing. Head and neck relaxed to rest. When you get to the top, inhale, send both hands high. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. Go ahead and release the arms down by your side in Tadasana. Close your eyes for a moment or gaze softly down the tip of your nose. Just take a second to tune in. You might remember your intention, dedication. You might check in with how your body's feeling. You might just take a big deep breath. Softly link your eyes open. Bring your hands together at heart center. We're going to start with a figure 4 pose. You're going to shift your weight into your right leg. You'll come through single leg Tadasana. Your left knee will reach out in front at 90 degrees. Open up your hip and place your foot just on top of your standing kneecap. So you can stay right here the whole time. If you want to work into the hip a little deeper, you'll start to bend your standing leg if you're sitting down onto a chair. You can hover. You can bring your forearms all the way down to your leg as Helen's doing. If you want to bring it into the hamstring, your fingertips will come down to the floor and you'll straighten out your standing leg. If you have the arm balance, feel free to hop up onto the back of your arms. Try to keep your foot flexed so that right foot is at 90 degrees. Find one thing in the room to look at. If you're taking the arm balance, you need to curl your foot around the back of your arm nice and firm. Great job, Helen. Keep breathing. Slowly, you're going to roll yourself back up to standing. Try not to drop that left knee. You're going to come through single leg Tadasana and root down. And then step your leg about halfway up your mat. So toward the center of the mat, just like that. You're going to turn your right foot to 45 degrees and ground down through the heel. So we're going to come into full pyramid pose now. Make sure both hip points are facing straight toward the front of your mat and your feet are hip width apart. 2 options for your arms, reverse prayer or opposite elbows. Whenever you're ready, as you inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, fold forward over that left leg. Try to keep a little micro bend in your knees. Square your sternum over your kneecap and your nose toward the second toe on your left foot. Hug your left hip in toward the center of the mat. If it feels okay, you can let your head hang heavy. Just really fold in. If you want to bring the stretch into your shoulders, you can stay right where you are. Just press your shoulder heads up toward the sky. Get your shoulder blades a little closer on your back. Beautiful. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, release your hands to frame your front foot, and we're coming into standing split. Lift your right leg high. Breathe into the back of that left leg. The more you fire up your lifted glute muscle, so that right glute, the higher you're going to lift your heel. Yogi's choice if you want the hip open or closed. Any variation you'd like to take, feel free to stay where you are. Use a block if you need to bring the ground a little bit closer and you have one at home. Josh demonstrating with an invisible block. All right, take one more big inhale. Exhale, fold forward in the middle of the mat. Feet are hip width apart. Sway out and ragdoll once or twice. Just let your whole body be heavy. Then release whatever bind you might have. Take your first 2 fingers, wrap them around your big toes. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Fan your elbows out wide. Let your head hang heavy. Draw your navel up toward your spine. If you need to bend your knees softly, feel free. Breathe into your hamstrings. Try to relax your neck. Maybe give the head a nod and shake. And then go ahead and release your bind. 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll all the way to standing. Head and neck relax to rise. When you get to the top, we're going to take 2 shoulder shrugs. So as you inhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Create lots of tension. Exhale, roll them down your back. 1 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Stand up nice and tall in Tadasana. Navel to spine. Kneecaps are lifted. And we'll do the other side. Shift your weight into your left leg this time. Hands come to heart center. You'll bring your right knee out in front for single leg Tadasana. Open up the hip, place your foot just on top of your standing knee, foot is flexed, and you'll take it wherever you took it on the first side. Keep in mind again that it might feel different on this side. One hip's a little tighter than the other. Nice save, Jonathan. Find one thing in the room to look at to steady your gaze. Don't forget to breathe. Slowly, you're going to start to roll yourself back up to standing, root down, and don't drop that right knee. You'll come through single leg Tadasana, and then step your right foot up toward the top of your mat. Set up for pyramid pose on the right. If you need to adjust that back foot backward a little bit, feel free. Your back foot's at an angle, your front foot faces straight forward. Square your hips. If you're taking opposite elbows, you're going to switch the forearm that's on top this time. Take a big breath in and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward over your front leg. Square your sternum over your knee. Nose toward the second toe on your right foot. If it feels okay to let your head hang heavy after you fold it in. And if you brought in the shoulder stretch on the first side, we'll do it again here. Keep hugging your right hip toward the center of your mat and breathing. Last big breath in. Exhale, release your hands, frame your front foot, standing split on the right. Last little bit of hard standing work here. Fire up that glute muscle. Lift your left heel nice and high. Breathe into your right hamstring. Take whatever variation you took on the first side. Maybe lift your heel 1 inch higher. Big breath in. Exhale, fold forward at the top of your mat. Sway it out in ragdoll once or twice. Let everything go. For these last couple breaths, you can choose to stay in ragdoll, or if you want to take gorilla pose, you're going to pop your toes up off the ground, slide your hands underneath your feet, so the soles of your feet meet the palms, as Jonathan's doing. Feel free to bend your knees if you need, tilt your tailbone up high, navel to spine, and just let your head hang heavy. If you're in ragdoll, any arm variation that feels good. Breathe into the back of your legs. Last big breath in. As you exhale, release your bind. Slowly roll all the way to standing, 1 vertebrae at a time. When you get there, 2 more shoulder shrugs. Inhale, roll them up. Exhale, roll them down. 1 more, inhale up. Exhale, down. Stand up nice and tall in Tadasana. We're going to start to make our way down toward the floor through a sun egg. So an inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Inhale, flat back, spine long. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float. Inhale through up dog. Exhale through down. Take a big breath in and down dog. Full breath out. 1 more inhale. Open mouth. Inhale, shift forward to high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly and untuck your toes. We got our abs out of the way, so there's no more of that to do. Bring your arms alongside your body. We're going to start to set up for some prone back bending. Bring your big toes together to touch at the back of your mat. As you inhale, you're going to lift your chest and lift your legs. Reach your hands back for your heels and press your palms up toward the sky in this first variation. Roll those shoulder heads back, pinch your shoulder blades together on your back. Your gaze should be just above the top edge of your mat. Press into the front of your hip bone. See if you can lift up one more inch. Big breath in. Exhale, come all the way down. Turn a cheek. Take a breath. Right, round two, this time we're going to catch a line above the small of our backs as we rise. So on an inhale, clasp your hands together, punch your knuckles back for your heels, peel your chest up off the ground and lift your legs. Try to keep your big toes touching so you're not inviting too much external rotation into the legs. Try to lift your knuckles up off your hip bones and bring the stretch into your shoulders. Lift up one more inch, big inhale. Exhale, come all the way down. Turn a cheek. Take a breath. All right, third round, we're going to find Superman. So as you rise, you're going to extend both hands in front of you, reaching toward the front of your mat. Inhale, lift up, chest and legs, big toes stay touching. Roll the shoulders back, pinch the shoulder blades together. Lift up a little bit higher, big breath in. Exhale, come all the way down. Bring your arms back alongside your body. Bend your knees and start to windshield wiper your legs side to side. And then extend both legs long behind you. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Send your hips back to your heels and round your spine in child's pose for a couple breaths. Just hang out here in this counter pose. Try to curve your spine. You might reach back for your heels to invite a little more curve into the back. Maybe you rock your forehead side to side again. Try to take a big deep breath into your back body. Reach your hands forward if they're at your heels. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes. Send your hips up and back. And find down dog. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. Open mouth. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, resting half pigeon on the right. Your right knee will come outside your right wrist. You'll swing your right foot around to meet your left wrist. Scoot your left knee back if you need. If you have props at home and you want to cushion your right hip, feel free. Take a moment to lengthen your spine, square your hips, and then whenever you're ready, you can fold forward over your shin. If this doesn't feel good on your knee or on your hip, you can always modify on your back. Sure, Jonathan's gonna modify for you. If you're in half pigeon and your forehead is all the way down onto the ground or on a block, try to inch your elbows out a little wider and relax your shoulders down your back. If you're modifying on your back, you can see as Jonathan's doing, you'll have the top of a figure four in your left leg. Your foot will come just underneath your right knee. Your left hand can either come through the hole that's made by your left leg and bind behind your right hamstring or your right shin, or you can use that left hand to press your knee away, as Jonathan was doing just a moment ago. Just try to keep your feet flexed so those legs stay engaged. Just take a couple moments to breathe. Slowly start to rise if you're in pigeon. Plant your palms, tuck your back toes, send your right leg up and back and start to move around in any way that feels good. From three-legged dog, you might take hip circles, drive your knee up and down, or flip your dog if you like to do that. If you're on your back, you might shimmy your knees side to side, windshield wiper a little bit, release your lower back and your hips. Whenever you're ready, if you're taking pigeon, you'll meet us in down dog. If you're on your back, go ahead and just switch the side. Inhale, left leg lifts if you're in pigeon. Exhale, resting half pigeon on your left. Same thing on this side. Take a moment to get set up. Hips are square, spine is long. Grab your props as you need under that left hip. Then fold forward over your shin whenever you're ready. Relax your upper back. No matter what you're doing, try to soften your jaw. Relax your eyebrows. Just breathe. Slowly start to rise. Plant your palms if you're in pigeon, tuck your back toes, send your left leg up and wiggle around. If you're on your back and you prefer to invert from your back, you can go ahead and stay where you are. I'm going to go ahead and get set up for that in just a moment. Whenever you're done wiggling around, if you were in pigeon, as you inhale, look toward your hands, and as you exhale, walk or flow your feet up through your hands and land on your seat. You'll extend both legs out long in front of you when you get there. All right, from here, we're going to start to set up for an inversion on a Q shoulder stand. So if you're going to take that with me, you're good right where you are, seated. If you'd like to practice any other inversion that you can do safely, so headstand, legs up the wall, anything like that, feel free to make your way into whatever you prefer. Shoulder standers, reach your hands out for your toes, sit up nice and tall, and roll one vertebrae at a time all the way down onto your back. Once you're there, you'll plant your palms, lift your legs, you're in an L shape on your back. You can stay here the whole time if you want to hang out in more of a restorative inversion. You can slide a block underneath the small of your back. If you're taking full shoulder stand, you'll do what Helen's doing, send your toes up over your head. Bend your elbows, bring the hands to the small of your back and inch your elbows in as close as you can, lifting your legs up toward the sky. As Amy pointed out yesterday in her class, you can see how active both of these lovely demoers are in their inversions. So legs are engaged, toes are demi-pointed or pointed. Feel free to play with leg variations if that feels good. Give you a little longer to stay up, but feel free to come into your counter pose if you're ready. Headstanders will find child's pose, shoulder standers will come back into plow. We'll be in plow for a couple breaths. If you want to take deaf man's pose or reach your hands up to bind your toes as Helen's doing, feel free. As you're ready, we'll start to get set up for fish. So you'll plant your palms and roll one vertebrae at a time all the way down onto your back. If you're in child's pose and you want to join us, feel free to flip yourself around. Slide your hands underneath your hips, palms face down. Prop yourself up onto your forearms and wiggle your elbows in close. Press your sternum up toward the sky, drop your head down and back toward the ground, and take a couple open mouth exhales or lion's breaths, clear it all out of your chest. Big deep inhales and exhales. After your third or fourth breath, whenever you feel done, tuck your chin into your chest and roll all the way down onto your back. Release your hands into a cactus shape on the ground. Draw your knees up into your chest. Find your favorite leg variation for a spinal twist, and you'll let your legs fall to the right side of your body. Gaze toward your left arm, and if it feels okay for you, let your eyes close. Try to let your whole body soften. So the only thing working here is gravity. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, other side, legs to the left. Gaze to the right. Body soft. Inhale, come back through center, hug yourself in tight. Take a moment for any last wiggles or postures that you might need. If you like to practice Tadasana with any props or want to grab any clothes, feel free to do that now. Whenever you're ready, you'll start to get set up. Extend your arms and legs long, let your feet flop out wide. If you have another favorite Shavasana variation, feel free to find it. Shimmy your shoulder blades in nice and close. Let your eyes close. Take a big breath in. Settle in for your final rest. Bring your awareness back to your breath, taking a full inhale, full exhale. Start to invite some easy movement back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and ankles. And rock your head from side to side. Extend both arms up over your head. Take a nice full body stretch. If you just woke up from a nap, fingertips to toes. And then your body for all of its hard work. And to absorb the benefits of your practice. Pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat, facing the top of the mat. Keep your eyes closed or gaze softly down the tip of your nose and sit up nice and tall. We'll close with 3 collective breaths. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale. Breath in. And out. One more big inhale. Open mouth, let it go. Draw your hands together at heart center. Take a moment to thank yourself for spending this hour on you. And thank each other and everyone out there for just being a member of our community and our world, and wish them well. Bringing your thumbs to your forehead. Together we bow, sealing our practice. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining. Have a great Friday, a great weekend. Hope everyone's hanging in there. We'll have more live streams to come, so just stay tuned on our Instagram and on our Mind Body. We love you. Bye.